Can you just write it down for me? Please? Hi, my name is Leah. I'm 28. So I feel like it should resonate with me, asking me that question. What does it mean to be a woman? But nothing really came to mind. Besides, really, I suppose, the fact that we are, that women can have children. And I thought that's pretty damn impressive. But because I'm not a mother yet, haven't had children, you know, I think it'll carry a deeper meaning being a woman once I have a little person inside of me growing.
My name's Katie and I am 31 years old. When I think about womanhood, I think about the long line of people, of women, strong women that I come from. And specifically my two grandmothers, my paternal and my maternal grandmothers, both have incredible stories. And they're stories that I tell people to impress them. They're stories that I am very proud of and that I think have made me feel like I come from fighting stock, and that makes me feel like I can handle things that perhaps I wouldn't otherwise be able to handle. My paternal grandmother, she was born in London, and she was born to an Orthodox Jewish family. She was a rebel, and she tells me always that I'm a chip off her block because she thinks I'm very rebellious. When she was 17, it was in the 30s or 40s, I believe it was the 30s, and she, or the early 40s, and she decided to join the Air Force. She had the option of joining the army, but she decided that the navy blue uniform would suit her better, so she joined the Air Force, and she was one of the first people to ever read radar for the planes that were up in the air. And she would be one of the people who were plotting the flight paths with the big stick across the shuffleboard as well.
My name's Jeannie and I'm 55. Men, as they get older, especially if they have, senior positions in that, my impression is there are some that feel that they need to stay relevant or be seen to be relevant, and there are many that don't think they need to. They think they've already done what they need to do. But I think as a woman, there is, and maybe it's the menopause issues as well with that, and the feeling of memory loss. It affects your, I think it affects my attitude to myself, my self-confidence. So you try harder, I think, to not be seen as someone who's just coasting or losing things or not wanting to be relevant. I think it's also that I've always myself wanted to excel or do what I do well. Maybe not the best, but the best that I can do.
I'm Roz, I'm a baby boomer and I'm 66. Working in a fashion magazine and living in a very fashion conscious world, because I was about a similar age to Twiggy, who was this twiggy little figure, and I have always been overweight since I was since puberty, virtually, and I don't ever remember being teased about my weight, because I think I didn't consciously develop a personality, but I think as long as you enjoy people, show them compassion, have a giggle, have a laugh. I've never not got a job because of my weight. I've always tried to dress well for my weight. I don't think people have said, oh, here comes that fat girl from Vogue, because I always dressed well, and I hope I had an engaging personality. And so I think it's very sad when kids, young girls today, spend so much time, they're either taunted on Facebook if they're not perfect, and we're all trying to be perfect. In advertising and in television and magazines, these people are airbrushed, they're dressed, they're made up. That's not what they look like in real life. So I think it's very sad that girls are having increasingly more pressure on them to try and be perfect.
My name's Lynn and I'm 73 years old. After that, my daughter married an American and she went to America, and I was almost 50 and decided that I'd had enough of permanent jobs, so I started doing contracting work so I could go to America more often to visit my daughter, which I did. And it was during my term with Shell Oil on a contract basis that I had a call from Jordan to see if I might be interested in working for the Crown Prince of Jordan at that time. After a few months I visited Jordan and had an interview with the Crown Prince, and was lucky enough to get the job. So I moved to Jordan in 1995, and I actually worked with Prince Hassan for 17 years, and during which time King Hussein died and the whole country changed, and the work of the prince changed, and I retired in 2012 and have now returned to my original hometown where I'm doing voluntary work.
Yeah. My name's Dawn and I'm 81. And what I hope for women is that they can enjoy the period when they have to be purely housewives, or circumstances makes this happen. I do it as well as my pioneer women and my night class women. I do admire Quentin Bryce, and something she said while she was Governor General, which was, you can have it all, but not at the same time. And I think if somehow women were empowered to be able to enjoy their families, which is very idealistic because I know that finance and circumstances and all sorts of things make this impossible for lots of people, but I feel there's a lot of pressure on women not to be able to enjoy that time.
My name's Ida and I'm 92. But the farmers' wives were just the most marvellous people. The men had gone to war, a lot of them did, and some never to return, and they milked and did all on the farm that was necessary, and then they would come in and do other little jobs to help. And once a month, they would gather in people's homes to have some sort of lunch or cup of tea, and they would talk and knit for the soldiers or make things for their life, and it became quite a sort of a wonderful thing for them, because they would talk and no doubt discuss things on the farm and so forth.
My main thoughts were there's motherhood, there's work, there's reflection, and then so that's about it, I think.
Then old age, is it?
And then old age.
Is that what you were getting to, where you stopped?